Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of our Facebook Live, where we bring in many different contents from both inside and outside real estate world. And today I'm here with my buddy and partner Tom Bibi Varghese. We've done many deals, and together we have this great topic that we came up with for today. Something a little bit spicy, a little bit controversial, but stuff that we've learned over the years because we got burned. So, without further ado, I'm Dr. Noah Liu, and this Facebook is for our members, both in the doctor healthcare field. And all we do is provide education and making sure that you learn from the basics. And if you're an expert, definitely I would like you guys to chime in. And I would like to pass the mic off to my buddy Tom.
Hello, everybody. My name is Tom Bibi Varghese. As you already know, we are the ones who are running the group, and I'm an entrepreneur. I started my real estate journey about 5 years ago with zero apartments to my name or zero real estate to my name, and I was able to build up a portfolio in a short period of time. But over the course of that time, learned some expensive lessons by partnering with the wrong people who we thought knew something about real estate or business in general, but
Mm-hmm.
then later on we found out that man, these guys were just beginners. I mean, we're okay with beginners, but they didn't know anything. They were not good with money. There were so many issues that we found later on, and it became expensive. We lost hundreds of thousands of dollars, and like they always say, there is nothing that you lose as long as you can take a valuable lesson out of it. So Noel and myself, we both were in similar situations, and we learned a ton, and we're going to talk about that today.
Oh, 100%. It's one of those things where we were naive and we made mistakes, but that's okay. Stuff happens. However, we want to make sure that you guys get the gist of it and understand what it takes to vet a partner out. Some of those case scenarios that we went through, we have members in this group that are part of that deal that we actually entrusted. And like many of you also who are part of this group, you guys do understand that there are some of your own investments that's at stake. So, with that being said, we would like to start out with a few topics. Tom and I were going to discuss a few different things. What are some of the key aspects which you think, and you can actually kind of participate and let us know your experience, what it was like to have partnered with some of the deals that you've partnered either with us or with somebody else, and definitely share your experience. So, Tom, let's start, man. Vetting out our sponsors, our JV partners. What are some of the key traits that you are looking for now?
Right. The thing is, now from learning all these valuable lessons, I've realized that it's not just in real estate deals. Um, any business transaction you get into
Right.
will be very naive. You got to be going in with that doubtful eye, right? Like, hey, man, and then you got to tell them up front, hey, I've been burned before, so I'm going to be asking some tough questions. And if you're offended by it, that's maybe this partnership is not meant to be.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to start with asking those tough questions, and one of them is, hey, you got to look for their character. Is that person not just in business? How is the partner behaving towards their spouse, their family? How are they treating others? How are their personality altogether? Right? Do you think that makes a difference?
Oh, 100%. Partnership, it's like marriage. So you got to know what they're like in and outside the professional setting. Because ultimately, you and I, Tom, we both know that if something goes south in a business deal or in a real estate deal, I mean, what shows up first? It's a character, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
exactly. So character, man, that's over the credentials. Like as entrepreneurs, Noel and myself, we know that we always hire for attitude, not for
mm-hmm.
skill. We know that. So if a person walks in and says, "I got all these credentials," but their attitude is messed up, that's definitely not somebody you want to partner with. And like we said, are they kind? Are they treating others in a respectful manner? Are they talking about others in a respectful manner? Those are very, very important things. And it's not just business at the end of the day. It's their personality that'll show up in the business, and it can make or break the business. What we have found,
100%.
right?
Uh, for sure, for sure, because character plays a huge role. Character is what's going to be determining how they deal on a stress basis day to day, how they deal with business, how they deal with decisions, how they deal with the team members. Those all count because at the end of the day, it's how they're going to deal with investors or their partners, right?
Yeah, and
And
also we how are they talking about their past deals and the past partners? Are they blaming it on somebody,
oh
or are
yeah,
they taking ownership? Right. So we've seen some examples where people in the deal, they always blame somebody. They're never at fault. they're they're they always are like, oh man, this if only this property had this thing more, we would have made more money. Or
a
it's that
hundred
guy's
percent.
fault, or the property manager messed up, right? So that's a big red flag.
That's a big red flag. And the way to find out those kind of things is looking at the past deals,
Yeah.
um, looking at what happened, and who are the partners, who are the investors. Definitely do some due diligence of your own. And this is one of those things where we've learned over the years that you definitely got to know. Main thing is a character. So let's jump to the next point. What do you think the next best or the next most important thing would be?
I think I would look at the track record. How
Love
have they
it.
done any deals? Is this their first deals? What was their role in the past deal? Were they passive? Were they active? Have they exited a deal? What was the exit strategies they executed?
Right.
Are they? And here's a big one. There's a lot of dreamers out there. Are they an operator or a dreamer? Right. So a lot of guys are like, man, I'm going to own a 1,000 unit portfolio and for 3 years, but they don't want to do any work. They're just dreaming.
Right.
They're just dreaming and talking. Have you come? I mean, I'm sure the
Man,
well, you've come across
hundreds and hundreds of times, right? You deal with all these people on a day-to-day basis. So Tom and I, we network a lot. We see a lot of people at the events, at summits, at meetups, and everyone has this great idea. But how fruitful it's going to be with that great idea, it's got to have some traction, some pace. And here's the thing with new beginners. Even if you don't have the track record, and we get it, and that's how we started too, right? Without
Mhm.
track record. But we partnered with someone who actually had that record and we verified it. How good of a track record? That was some parts we were kind of a hit or miss. Honestly, that's our honest truth. We were a little bit naive, but knowing to partner with someone who's actually done deals, who've exited deals, like Tom said, who's done like multiple transactions, and they're all cash flowing and they're all successful. Those are the kind of people you want to partner with. In a sense that if you have no experience, or if you have some experience and you still want to partner with somebody, you still got to have someone with a track record if you don't have that track record yourself, right?
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing also I've noticed is when there is too many people in the partnership,
Yeah.
um, that's going to fail at some point. Like I think there's got. I mean, too many people in the management. I mean, like
Why do you think so, Tom?
because then everybody's thinking the other guy is going to do the job. That's first thing. The other guy,
Mm,
then they're thinking, man, and some of these guys are going to get married or they're going to have kids and they're going to get busy. They're not going to have time. They might start another business, and something is going to happen to if there's like 12 people in a part. I'm not talking about limited partners who do just passively. I'm talking about the active guys who are supposed to take care of the deal. If there is 12 of you, I mean, first guy is going to think the second guy is going to take care of it. The second guy is going to think the eighth guy is going to take care of it. We're talking from experience here. And then something is going to happen to the other guy. He's not going to put this a priority. He might have had to fly into a different location for his job or business or something. And then that guy. So there is a way to tackle this, right? What would you say how we can address this situation?
man, we aren't we in a deal right now with 25 GPs,
Yes.
right? So what
Yeah.
happens? What ends up happening is after a year, after 2 years, when the deal is closed, everything is done, everybody got paid. What ends up happening is everyone checks out, especially like the co-GPs or the smaller guys who had almost literally no skin in the game. So they check out. They are not there in the property, right? The property manager is doing whatever, and everyone is at a passive because the main GPs are busy with another deal and another deal and another deal.
Mm.
So that's our grief with some of the deals that we're involved in. But however, with that being said, there's still good operators out there. But you just got to know exactly who they are and if that is their full time job or is it like a side gig for them. So knowing those guys, it's very very important.
So side gig, like this is not their main thing, basically. That's what you're saying,
A
right?
hundred percent. These guys are working W-2 jobs, like how me and you we've encountered some of these people that we got partnered with. They are working either in the hospital, they are working in an IT field, and this is something they do on weekends. And like 3 years ago or 4 years ago, when the whole multifamily was booming, what ended up happening was everybody got in the game. When the tide is up, everybody's ship was up, so everybody thought they could make money. But only the strong operators are surviving at this point.
Yeah, very, very true, man. Like, some of these, what about the business experience that they have? Like, if they're working in a W-2 job, do you think they have any clue about balancing the budget, making
Yeah.
sure,
Oh man, that's another kind of worms, right?
yeah,
So what ends up happening is a lot of people think like real estate it's a passive income, it's just a real estate is an investment. No, it's not. If you see time after time with our track record and with multiple people that we've dealt with, running a real estate property, like running the or like the day-to-day basis is like running a business. it's
business,
like it's like many of our dental practice owners, we understand what is it like to open our door in the morning and shut it down at night, paying our bills, paying our staff, paying our supplies. It's the same exact scenario with running a real estate deal. It's nothing different. But a lot of people, like Tom said, they are delusional that it's an investment. You buy it and it's going to make money automatically. There is no such thing as making money automatically. Right, Tom? I mean, you
yeah,
ran a business, you know exactly what it takes, man. I mean, it's
yeah.
an entrepreneurship. You got to
Eh,
put in, day out. You got to put it in. And
Yeah,
people
and
who,
it's sometimes it's as simple as you got to have money left as profit. You can't just pay all. You can't just,
oh, yes.
yeah, spend everything. It's just common sense sometimes. But supposedly, if you don't have the experience, at the end of the day, you got payroll, you got this and that, and expenses to take care of. So you got to have some reserves and money in the account at all times. It's not like money coming in and going out at the same time. That
Hmm.
there is no business. Business runs on cash flow, and real estate is just like that. Cash flow is the lifeblood of the real estate business as well.
And talking about checking out, which brings us to our next point. We need to identify the roles and responsibilities of each partner or each member because it's so crucial and so important. Because if we don't, then what ends up happening is, like you said, everyone is blaming everyone else, right? When stuff happens, and no one is accountable, no one wants to take responsibilities. And sorry to say, but when the shit hits the ceiling, everybody is checked out.
Yep, exactly. And then, so have clearly defined roles. Like,
Hmm.
what is partner number one going to do? What is John going to do? What is James going to do? You got to have it clearly defined. And what happens if they don't do it, though?
Here's the deal: they should always have some skin in the game,
Mm.
right? And that's ultra important. Like you said, if they don't do it, we better make sure we have something in agreement. If you're not doing your job or you're not doing something, you are going to lose something, right?
That's another thing. So have everything in writing is what you're saying, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Have an agreement, a proper agreement. Like not just the LLC operating agreement, but have something else which is going to hold and bind everyone together like a glue.
Everyone together, yeah. Guys,
Yes.
never get into any partnerships without an agreement, even if it's your friend, cousin, family,
And
whatever it is.
spelled out.
Spell it
Spelled
out.
out.
Things change, people change, and people forget a lot of things. I mean, we myself might have said something, and you forget. So
Oh,
it's
sure. That happens to
always
me all the
better,
time.
right? You write it down, even if it's just an email. Write the thing down and just send it to them so everybody is on the same page.
And one thing I've learned too, Tom, I don't know if you agree or not, but hey, what is your current profession?
Hmm.
Just ask. right?
Yep.
I mean, what are they doing? How are they handling the money? What is their
Mhm.
liquidity like? What is their net worth like? I mean, gotta
Oh,
know something
the
about it.
money mindset. How is their balance sheet? Yeah, that's very important, man. Like you got to do, like I said before we were chatting before, I heard on this podcast that Tony Robbins was saying anybody who's going to partner with, tells them ahead of time, I'm going to do a complete background check and a credit check on you. And if you have any problems with that, let me know. And he only gets into business after doing that. And how did he do that? Because he also got burned, like everybody. They learn a valuable lesson and they don't repeat the mistakes. So we've
Hmm.
been in the same boat. We've been burned a couple of times, and we've learned some. We don't go that far, but that's a great thing you said. Like, ask the. So, what are some of the questions that we should be asking then in
I
terms of?
love it what you said. Background checks. Let's do it. Let's check the background. Let's run some profile. Shoot, I may even go as far as running a credit profile,
Mm-hmm.
right? Why
Yeah.
not? Why not? Because if you are going to be investing in tens and thousands of dollars with this person, or you're going to be partnering with them, they got to be checked out, and vice versa.
Yeah. Check me out too,
Check me
right?
out too. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
No issues. Yeah. So
You know,
if you,
I
I mean, it's not like they may not have a perfect thing, but are they willing to explain that?
mhm.
Are they getting offended at that? Then that's a red
Well,
flag.
they got offended. Too bad, right? They're not
Yeah,
a right partner.
it's better get offended now than later
Right,
when
right.
you have hundreds of thousands of dollars on the line.
Man, Tom, seriously, if I were to ask those questions and if they got offended at that time, I would have been so happy not to invest,
Yeah, agreed, man. Agreed.
right? I would have been so happy not to invest. Um,
Yeah.
and then the other thing too is it's just kind of just ask, like, what is the cash reserve? If this deal were to ever go south, how much cash reserve do you have? How much cash reserve do I have? How much cash
Mhm.
reserve, does the other partners have? Can we build this deal out of a dead brick if it ever comes to that point?
Now, very important that you said that because when you go to the bank, all in these commercial deals, we never end up signing a personal guarantee, but they ask you, what is your net worth? What is your liquidity? And what is your experience? They just want to see that to make sure this guy is solid. They're not giving money to some guy who has no idea about this. So that's very important, guys. If the banks are checking that, we should be doing that too.
We've done that so many times when we buy a house, when we open a
Yeah.
business, we are signing we actually putting it all on the personal financial statement, and everything has it, right? Your net worth, basically what's your asset, what's your liability, what do you owe, what is your payments, what are your mortgages? I mean, we have the whole thing listed.
Yeah.
So why can't we just ask our partners to fill out another PFS for us, and we'll do the same thing, right?
Yeah.
100%, 100%.
Guys, the most important thing to remember is, when people get into these deals, everybody is like, man, let's do it. That's what let's do it, man. It's all fun, and there's a lot of energy to go into these deals, and people are thinking, man, I'm going to make a lot of money, and so everybody is so excited in the beginning,
Hmm.
and that's how the wrong partners end up getting together, because they don't use their brain at that time. They're just going with the heart, like, man, oh, it's good, man. Maybe they just had a couple of drinks and everything is good. And then what you don't realize is that that wrong partner will cost you a ton more than anything else. All it takes is a wrong partner to mess you up.
And like everybody else, life happens. Um,
Yeah.
even including myself. We may not have that cash flow all the time because business goes up and down, right? And
Yeah.
sometimes the reserve may be low, sometimes be high. It depends on what season. Because a lot of times, if we are investing in some other deals, or maybe I'm investing in another office, another location, the cash flow will be down because we have to pick up the other location. Or the cash reserve might be down on that part because we use a lot of the cash that we have that we use to buy more deals. At the end of the day, what matters is what has been the track record over time,
Mm.
right? And that is important. Not at that current time, because at current time, a lot of times when we take a snapshot of our statement of our PFS, it's all about what's happening at that current moment. And this is one thing where you kind of have to see a bigger picture of what's going on in the entire span of this person's career.
Yep, yep. Very, very important, man. Man, this was great. This was great. So watch out, guys, when you get into a partnership with somebody,
Hmm.
make sure you come back and watch this video. That'll save you a lot of headache.
Right. Hey, if you guys found this information useful, or if you found like some good nuggets out of this, make sure to like, comment, and if there's any questions, DM one of us. We'll be more than happy to answer. And with that being said, everyone have a safe and blessed weekend, and we'll see you guys next week.